Have you ever sat there and just thought to yourself, man, EU4 is a little bit too easy these days? Probably not, because that's when you should start to go see a therapist. Anyway, what if you could only expand with personal unions? Now, that's a little bit ambiguous, so to lay out the terms here, you can feed the personal unions land, you can integrate the personal unions, and you can get more personal unions through any way possible. But you just can't take land yourself in any war, so you gotta at least use the personal unions, yeah. Oh, by the way, this also means no vassals. Now, who's going to be our lucky country today for our personal union run? We could go with, like, Milan, or, like, Savoy, or Austria. No. Austria's way too easy. Poland, also a little bit too easy. How about we go with Burgundy? I actually haven't played a full Burgundy run, so yeah, this should be interesting. Now, when I say no vassals, what I really mean is no vassals. Nevers is gonna have to find their own way. And before I actually get into things too much, let's talk about personal unions a little bit. You see, personal unions haven't actually changed all too much since the beginning of the game. I'll be using this infographic that hopefully I remember to put on screen that details pretty much everything you're going to need to know about personal unions, and as you can see, it is disgustingly complicated. So I need to find a way to spread my dynasty as far and wide as possible, and then get a bunch of personal unions, maybe through force, maybe through diplomacy, hopefully, and see just how far that will go. Okay, so let's pick up a few rivals. Of course, these guys are basically just going to be rivaled for pretty much the whole game, which means I'm not going to get them as personal unions unless, of course, they're about to fall into someone else's personal union. Then I can contest them as the rival and then, you know, maybe take that. We'll see. For now, let's take a look at a couple of people who might be friendly with us, like Castile, Austria, Brandenburg, well, most of the HRE actually. How about we start with Austria? And then, of course, Castile as well. Seeing as I already have 3 junior partners, it's not very likely that I'm going to end up getting too many alliances and too many possible PUs, but I can at least try. All else fails, we get like a Habsburg, I don't know. Well, that was quick. Okay. That's real awkward. Okay, we can at least go ahead and ally Bohemia. Hopefully we can get that royal marriage. Scotland also needs an heir. Okay, well, I might as well give that a shot. Brandenburg as well, I don't see why not. Oh, it's so beautiful. De Bourgogne has arisen in Bohemia, with no heir either, but unfortunately, we still have that regency. That's so painful. Well, we can hope that either this guy dies, or we can try to break the alliance, claim the throne, all that kind of thing. There's a pretty decent chance that they're going to kick this guy out anyway, and that would suck, but, you know, you do what you can. Yeah, there it is. They do get that event. Well, that's a shame. If the old king didn't die so soon, I might have had a chance, but, well. It is what it is. Oh, what's this? Alright, England's going through like 16 different problems again. Sure, manpower, whatever. Oh my god. Poland took the local king. Are you serious? Oh, that's a good one. Well, that does provide me a couple more opportunities for PUs. Can't complain that much. Is that a 56-year-old infertile king I see in Leinster? Interesting. Don't you worry. We'll provide you an heir. What just happened? Oh no. I gotta admit, I'm a little puzzled by that move, king. But okay. I am not quite sure what to make of this whole thing now. Call that the old switcheroo. Now, here's the real question. Do I want to get rid of this heir? Nah, probably not. It might give me a free PU over Bohemia. I might as well keep them. Speaking of which, oh boy, alright, that was real quick. It's been 14 years and I've managed to speedrun through 2 kings. We will have a pretender that'll rise up down here, and I'm just a little curious. I'll at least look at what they're trying to do. Obviously, I'm gonna go ahead and royal marry Bohemia again. Okay, pretender, what do you have to offer me? 513, completely obscure dynasty. I don't really care that much. The Castilian Civil War is over. That could be promising. So long as these 2 queens both rule at the same time for long enough, that actually means there won't be the Iberian wedding, so we might have the opportunity to sneak in an heir real quick. A 460 weak claim heir. Nah, we can wait for something better than that. There we go, that's much better. And Castile's paid off my debt. Oh my god, thank you so much. Castile the goat for real. Alright, let's embrace that institution, pick up a couple of techs, and we're a great power. Nice. I don't really feel like a great power, but if they say so. Alright, what happened? Oh boy. The Palatinate has been elected the HR Emperor. Now what do I do with this information? I guess I should probably marry up with Austria again. Although, you know, Habsburgs and all that. Okay, time for the first idea group finally. I bet you can probably guess which one I'd go with. Alright, so now we get to click this button, which isn't really going to do that much. But for the hell of it, Why not, right? Just to mess with France a little bit. Oh, it's beautiful. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna break the alliance for a hot minute, make sure we still have some fairly decent relations. Just the, you know, don't break the royal marriage or anything. And we lost the throne. Of course we did. Well, that's fun. That's the way it goes, though. You gotta be fairly lucky to actually make it there on time. Oh, come on. Then England goes ahead and invades them. Of course. Just an unfortunate series of events, you know? I'm dying inside. Come on. How can we be doing this again? Not a 301. Stop giving me these airs, man, please. I can't keep doing this. Oh, that's pretty cursed. So Hungary just got slapped, released Nitra, got conquered by Poland, and now Croatia could use an air. Hey, what do you say, man? Now, you might be wondering, how did I end up in this situation? Well, this is just the true nature of personal unions. You royal marry like 15 people, none of them get your dynasty, and you move on. Oh look, Castile got the personal union over Aragon. Good for you. I'm so happy for you, bro. Oh, you know what I can do, actually? Well, first of all, I can royal marry Denmark. It's a slight chance of dynasty spread. But then also, I'm gonna take Calais because, yeah, screw those guys. Alright, next idea group. I would have picked influence, but of course, we can't do that. Instead, maybe quantity? I'll need it if I have any hope of trying to invade, like, Castile or anyone larger than me. Alright, I think that's good enough. This is the first war and first conquest of the entire game. No less than 41 years into it. The worst part about this run is that it just takes so long to get started. You have to hope for some decent RNG at some point, but you're really not guaranteed anything. Castile, why? Why would you do this? Well, I guess Austria said no, so it's not really that much of an issue. Alright, what's happened to Bohemia? Oh, no legal heir. Finally. It's a sign. It's a sign. Okay, the best way to go about doing this. Basically, I have to dissolve the alliance, then I need to claim the throne, and hopefully in the meantime, nobody's gonna do anything stupid. Alright? Alright. And we get a new heir. Not perfect, but I'll take it. Alright, it's October, which means the time has finally come. You have no idea how long I've waited for this. Something. Anything at all. Also, there's a Habsburg in Austria. But they don't have an heir. Oh, isn't that awfully... Isn't that inconvenient? Don't worry, we can fix that for you. The Palatinate's not very inclined to protect Bohemia since they kind of hate each other, and I think we should be fine to win this war. Now, we don't have access yet, but usually my subjects will just find their way over. There we go. That does not look very good for my subject, oh boy. Well, what if we leave a few guys behind and then help them out? Might be worth something. Just barely. Rather, we would have been fine. Back to the drawing board with that one. Okay, new round 2, we're gonna go straight after the capital. If there's one thing I've learned from my recent games, you have to treat every war like you're the only participant, because your subjects and your allies are going to pull out the absolute worst strategies you didn't even think were possible to somehow lose the war harder. And that's why you gotta do everything yourself. Alright, these guys are tech 8, I'm tech 7, but it's just like a little bit of extra infantry fire, nothing too big. Really depends on how many mercs they plan to hire, because that's kind of a lot actually. Well, let's hope everything turns out just fine. Oh yeah, I can also take this now. So finally, I can get rid of all of those worthless royal marriages. Alright, these guys have hired way too many mercs to fight this battle. We gotta bring in the big guns. Oh my god, no, please. Please, no, you can't be doing this to me. This is the first time something good has happened in this run. Please don't ruin this. I'm gonna have to fight Poland. Yep. I'm gonna have to fight Poland. Alright, Landshut will leave, great. All we have to do is wait for Volgas to be occupied by Poland, and then we're good. Beautiful. Here it is. Finally. Now, I just need to make sure my allies will help me defensively against Poland, because this is going to suck. I don't even know where to end this war. I'm trying to, like, keep track of their troops. Let's see if they retreat first. That might be something. Alright, that'll be my union with Bohemia, plus 300 ducats for my trouble. It's so beautiful. Okay, now, one issue is that they kind of despise me, and that's a problem because my dude is 55 years old. I'm gonna really have to bump up their opinion of me very quickly. Alright, Castile, I'm gonna need your help in this as well as Brandenburg. Alright, hopefully we can finish this battle before Lithuania gets here. It is 1.33, let's not have too much optimism. Of course, we are going to get a minor coalition, just a little one, and this appears to be a stack wipe, I think. Yep, there we go. Next order of business. Let's go and take Brno back. Alright, what does your mission tree look like? Take Nitra, okay. Well, maybe we can try to take Nitra, who knows. It wouldn't cost anything, so, Actually, we have so many men over here, we can probably just take whatever we want. Maybe war reps, maybe break the alliance, maybe some extra money, I don't know. There we go, now we can let Austria in. I could even call in Croatia again. Okay, I think we're fine. I don't think we need Croatia. Alright, I've got some pretty bad war exhaustion, so I think I'm just gonna let my allies deal with the rest of this for me. Then we'll decide what to take. So, you know, despite the fact that we outnumbered them like 4 or 5 to 1, Castile just wasn't really having it. That's okay, we still have Austria, and that's pretty good. And Brandenburg, that's something. Although we should probably just peace out with Lithuania. Bohemian Pretender Rebels, oh god, that's so many. Alright, we need to help them. We have so many things we have to do, actually. Alright, I'm gonna need somebody's help on this. Come on, Holland. Come on, bud. We've got stuff to do. Oh, why did you... No, don't leave that siege, man. You're supposed to stay on that siege. You had like 49%. Ah, the AI. The AI, man. Alright, yeah. I shouldn't really rely on the AI to take this for me. They're not really smart enough to do that. So, instead, I'm going to, maybe take a couple of border provinces. What else do you want? This stuff? Yeah, I can do that. Here, take that. Alright, looks good to me. Alright, I have secured the succession, since of course it's now past 1500, and we're alive. Now, we may ask to join the HRE, and there's a pretty decent chance they might say yes, and if they say no, then, well, that kind of sucks. I really don't know what to say to that. But we are once again a great power, now that we have a thick Bohemia by our side. And of course, I can't forget I need to start integrating my subjects. It appears Croatia needs an heir as well, and we just happen to have 90 favors. Yeah, awfully convenient, right? You, hold on a second. Sorry, hold on a minute here. That is a Restoration of Union CB against Brandenburg and Saxony. Interesting. Now, what am I going to do with this? First, I'll let it expire because there's no point in worrying about it right now. And then I think this CB lasts like 20 years or something like that, so we have plenty of time to try to figure out something else. Sheesh, Lithuania is not looking so good these days. They also don't have an heir, so that could be useful. Oh boy. Alright, what's this? Austria wants to conquer Milan. Not really my problem, but sure, I can help you out. So anyway, now I can click this button to decrease the Diplo annexation cost. Now that makes that 95 right there, which is cool, but before I actually finish this integration, I'm gonna go and sell some titles. And I'm going to revoke one of the privileges from the nobility. In this case, that's going to be the right of council. We don't really need that, I don't think. And instead, I'm going to give them the integration policy. Now, Bohemia is not going to like this, but I also don't care. So now I can integrate Flanders for a little bit cheaper, and I'm also going to begin the integration of a couple more of my subjects once we're done. And fortunately, this also means that I don't have to worry so much about losing my Diplo rep. Oh my god, Castile, what are you doing? Oh, they're doing too much. They're gonna own all of Italy by the time we're done. Well, now that we're done that, it's time for me to get my personal union. The Palatinate will join, but I don't really care. Who's the Palatinate allied to? A couple of random guys, no one I really care about. Well, I have a lot of favors, I could just call in like anybody, right? Sure, why not? I really should have started integrating a subject first, though. Well. Now, a personal union would look kind of like this, 35 AE. Oh, that's hardly anything at all. The best part about all of this is that I don't have to lift a single finger. Just sit here, save a bit of money, relax, and let my allies do all the work. Yes, it appears Austria has kind of kicked my dude off the throne. They tend to do that, yeah. It's a little bit annoying. Alright, the Palatinate's been 100%ed. We'll just get some war reps on that guy. Don't really care too much about his allies. They kind of suck, plus he's super weak now. And a weak emperor is good for me. And that should just about finish things off. Now, we'll be called into a defensive war, but that's okay. Of course, as a defensive war, it's perfectly fine for me to call in a couple of allies. Like, all of them. Alright, boys, looking good. That'll be enough. Now, let's do a couple of the things I was supposed to do before I started that war. Like integrating Holland and decreasing this autonomy over here. It's also, yeah, let's embrace Flemish. Now, the next thing for me to do is to go after Brandenburg for the exact same reason. They're not going to like me very much for this, but I'm sure they'll come around. You know, something I've always found a little bit weird is the ability to enforce culture. I can't really imagine what it's useful for, except for integrating faster. I mean, if you're willing to spend this much Diplo just to integrate faster, more power to you, but I don't know, it's always been kind of weird to me. Alright, Austria, what do you want? A little bit of conquest? Sure, no problem. Hold on a second, what? I don't think it's a good idea to change your culture to Czech. What would that do? What's the point of that? What am I gonna do with primary Czech culture? Yeah, sorry, I don't think so. Oh boy. Okay, yeah, that's cool. That's fine. I just need to make my way over to Saxony somehow. You guys are doing way too much. Alright, yeah. Alright, well, that's Holland integrated finally. And I have a problem. Dutch revolt. Yeah. You don't say. Well, how about we accept the Dutch culture? That'll fix something. That's a whole lot of triggers. I don't want to read all of these, but basically, keep the unrest low, make sure the religion's basically the same, and we're good. Now, the real question is, how do I stop this? I have to wait 100 years. Cool. This game really does not want me to own the Netherlands. Wait a second, oh, yeah, it turns out my truce is actually already over with Brandenburg. Whoops. Yeah, I forgot about that part. Right, okay, let me just break the royal marriage real quick. All we have to do is take the capital and we should be good. Alright, Bohemia, I believe in you. We've given them a little bit of money and they've hired 28,000 mercs, so hopefully that works out. Maybe. Alright, boys, there we are. Now let's try and defend this mountains fort real quick. Be pretty easy, and then we have to move all the way back to Holland. Looks like we can call in Castile. Might be useful considering the war's gotten a little bit more out of hand than I thought it would. We could use a little bit of free help. While we're here, we can also crush one of the central Reformation hubs. By forcing Rothenburg's religion, it forces the capital to swap to Catholic, and the capital is also the center of Reformation. Seeing as we're going to have the mandatory vote of at least 3 of the electors, I think this could actually make for a fairly decent game as the Emperor. That is, if we choose to continue. Now, the Palatinate is a single province, and they're currently the Emperor, being backed by 3 different people. What if they were to simply stop existing? Would that really cause that many issues? Would anybody really even care? I guess we'll have to find out. Alright, Palatinate, you've been the Emperor for far too long. I might only get 2 votes compared to everybody else, but that's fine. The way I'm going to do this is I'm going to PU Brandenburg at the exact same time as I annex the Emperor. So in an ideal world, Brandenburg wouldn't vote for them, but I honestly have no idea which order this does things in, so I guess we'll just have to find out. Alright, the new Emperor is Hesse. Well, that one's unexpected. Certainly is a little bit weird, but what can you do, really? At least we have Brandenburg as the PU now. Just give it some time and they'll vote for us. And all we're missing is either Mainz, Köln, and that's probably the only 2 options. Now, for my personal unions to succeed and thrive, I should probably feed them a couple of their claim missions. They can't get everything, but, you know, something is better than nothing. That being said, I'm going to take this stuff. Ah, beautiful. Alright, as the Pope, the first thing I'm going to do is make sure I can actually get the institution. Darn it. Alright, yeah, the Austrians got a new heir. I was hoping since this guy was so young then he wouldn't immediately have an heir, but nope, the dude's been busy. Now, I've been doing a little bit of scheming, thinking about how to deal with France. And the one way I've come up with is that I'm probably going to dismantle them. At least to the best of my ability. Let's go for the Siege of Paris and call all the boys in. Hopefully we won't have to do too much around here, but who knows. You know what? All of my subjects at this point kind of like me, so even if I disinherit, it's not actually that big of an issue. It's not like I can get PU'd anymore. Okay, the French have decided to barrage my forts, but that's okay. Yeah, that's not a whole lot better, but I'll take it. And the French just walked through all of these forts, this one, that one, these 2, to attack me on this province. I'm afraid I will just never understand fort mechanics, to be honest. Next thing you know, they're just gonna, like, walk right past this fort into the province next to it as well. I don't know. Maybe. Could happen. Okay, well that's not good. That's the Ottomans right there. Yup, that sure is the Ottomans, doing Ottoman things. Huh. And Austria has left. Well, this is actually a really big problem. Didn't expect to have to deal with this today, but I guess we should see how far we could go, maybe? Alright, I'm willing to pay the Ottomans a couple of minimal concessions. Not that much. They want my alliance with Castile, a little bit of money, 3 provinces. I don't really mind all too much. Alright, that's the rest of France. Now, I'm not actually going to take any provinces. No, of course not. but I will release Bourbonnais and Gascony down here. I want to improve relations with Gascony and try to secure them as a personal union, and then if I can do that, then I can feed them all of the French land, and then of course annex them later on. For the short term, at least it kind of gets France a bit weaker. That being said, it's probably a decent time to end off this video. If I were to continue this run, I'd probably try to get Holy Roman Emperorship. I was also considering expanding Brabant a little bit as the last PU over in the west here, and these guys, they just kind of exist for now, to be honest. I don't know what to do with them. But for a PU only run, gaining an extra 3 PUs is not bad at all. But for now, this is Corbett signing off. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video or a dislike if you didn't, and as always, have a fantastic day. Big thanks to the patrons this month. All of these people get early access to videos, so if you want early access to videos, all you have to do is check down in the description and subscribe to the Patreon for at least $1, and if you're looking for something else to watch, I'd recommend these videos up on screen.